I was a babysitter back in the day. I was about 12 or 13 years old at the time, and I had decided to start babysitting for my neighbors to make some extra money. Before this, I had earned some experience while babysitting for my dad's friends and their relatives. One day, I was babysitting for this family that was a friend of a friend's of a friend's. They had a little girl and a little boy, both being under the age of 9. The parents were extremely strict with how I was supposed to be around them, straight up giving me a schedule to follow, but to be honest, I was the more chill type. I'd rather just relax and watch over them as they did what they wanted to do, as long as it wasn't too obvious that they were breaking their parents' rules. After the parents left, the little girl starts singing in this weird and ominous voice.
We're all alone now.
The boy looks directly at me and says, "Let's play gangbang." Except the word wasn't gangbang, but something much more cruel. Looking back on it now, it is most likely that the boy had learned about the word on TV and just spewed it out of his mouth, not knowing the true nature of the word. But at that time, he had caught me so off guard, I changed the subject as fast as I could. It still gave me the chills. For the next hour, it was hectic and insane, to say the least. I wouldn't let them watch an R-rated TV show on TV because their parents did not want their kids watching TV that was not rated PG or under. The moment I said no, the girl looks at me and says,
That's fine. We'll just play on the gaming console in the other room.
I forgot what gaming console they had, but I got creeped out even more and decided, you know what, I can let them watch TV, something as long as I know what they're watching. So I told them that they could watch TV, but I got to choose what they could watch. I put on a cartoon and went into the kitchen with the remote. Their parents told me that they don't have much food left in the kitchen, so I can just make some sandwiches for them to eat for dinner, and that I can make one for myself too if I wanted. So that's what I did. While I was making the sandwich, I heard a loud crash in the room they were in. I went into the room and saw that the girl had broken a glass cup. Annoyed as I was, there was nothing I could do except clean it up and hope that the parents believed me when I tell them that the girl had broken a glass cup and not me. I went to get a sweep and pan to clean up the mess. All the while the kids stared at me, not blinking for a second. I went back into the kitchen after I cleaned it up when I heard yet another sound, except this time it was the boy screaming for help. I ran to the room again to see what the whole situation was. He kept yelling, my ankle, while holding it in his hands. While I stood there trying to figure out what he had done to his ankle, the girl left the room and went into the kitchen. I thought she went to get a band-aid or something, wherever they kept them, so I kept my attention to the little boy. I asked if he could stand up, and he told me it hurts too much and that he can't move. I see his head move and his eyes look directly behind me. I turned a bit and caught a glimpse of the girl standing there looking at us, smiling. All of a sudden, his ankle doesn't hurt anymore. What a surprise. At that point, I knew they were just messing with me. Maybe they were bored of the show I put on and decided it would be more fun if they just pranked me instead. Understandable, whatever. I'm only here for one day. I set out the sandwiches for us on the table. After grabbing some water for them, I realized they were sitting there like saints, not even touching their sandwiches. I told them that they could start eating, but the boy smiled and said, "We're just waiting for you to take a bite first." I should be happy hearing that, but instead, after the experiences I've had the entire day, I was a bit creeped out. I listened to my gut and removed the top layer of the bread from the sandwich. What I saw was glass. There was broken glass in the sandwich. I looked at them and they began laughing. I shouted, "Are you crazy? You know how much this can hurt, right? You could have really hurt me, you know?" Instead of feeling guilty or being upset, they just continued laughing like I was telling them a joke. The laughs were surreal, as if they weren't even kids at that point. I can still hear their laughs to this day. I called my parents shortly after and cried to them, telling them exactly what had happened. I told my mom that I wanted to come home, that I needed to be home right now. I begged my mom to come pick me up. My mom came to me after a half hour. She told me that we had to stay there for the rest of the day until the little boy and girl's parents came back home, since I took the job, and that it would be irresponsible of me to simply leave two kids unattended. To say the least, I got lectured for being creeped out and scared. Surprisingly, while my mom was there with me, the two kids behaved like saints. They kind of just did their own little thing and ignored our existence. After an hour or so, the parents came back home, and me and my mom left. I never told the parents what happened. I mean, who would believe me? First day on the job, had my mom with me on a one-person job, had a broken glass cup. It all just screams incompetent and irresponsible. I never babysat after that experience. What I cannot understand is how devilish the two kids were. I mean, they literally premeditated the broken sandwich and were just waiting for me to take a bite out of it like a sick joke. Considering that my mom was there and my dad had some kind of connection to their family, I wasn't sure if either of them told the parents what happened that day I babysat and why I no longer babysit. But regardless, I'm just glad that things didn't get any worse.